Hey there, Justin Chamness here, Real Estate Wholesalers Club VIP Private Friday session. Glad you're out there enjoying a Friday. Anybody feel like TGIF? Nobody says TGIF anymore, I don't think. I think the restaurant killed that. I'm not sure, but it is Friday. Thank goodness. Thank God it's Friday. If you're out there doing the double hustle, you got the job and you got the entrepreneurial thing going. You're working on your real estate business, or perhaps you're doing something different. I know where you're at. I've been there. I have totally been there. Trying to do both, juggling both. At one time, I felt like I don't know if you guys have ever been to a carnival or a circus where the guy is spinning plates, and it's all they're all on little sticks here, like shish kebabs, except giant. And there's plates, and he gets one spinning, and then he has to get another one spinning. Then he gets another one spinning, and another one, and then he's got to go back to the original, and he's got to get it spinning again, and keep them going. I can tell you what, that's how I felt for a long time. Yeah, trying to spin plates, trying to juggle a job, trying to juggle working on something for myself after the job was over, or sneak away from the job and work on, work on it. It's tough. So if you're out there, guys, I feel for you. But thank God it's Friday. Hopefully you have the weekend off of your job and you can put a little energy and a little time and effort into building something that's for you, your dream. When you work for a boss, you've got a job. That's like working for somebody else's dream. That's the part that always killed me. I can't believe this guy wants the best years of my life, the best time of my day, right? Because he's not looking for your downtime. He's looking for your full time. This guy wants me to put my energy and my passion and my drive into his dream. Something about that doesn't sit right with me. That's okay. I've done it. You have to eat humble pie sometimes and do things like that and learn things. And sometimes you got to do it for the money. But man, I'll tell you what, it's so much better when you get that shut up money and you can tell that guy, hey, you know what? Shut up. I'm out of here. And I've done that. What's so cool about that is it sets you free. And then you realize who you really work for. You work for yourself. You work for everybody. So you got to stay busy. You got to be productive. Being an entrepreneur is not an excuse to be unproductive. Am I right? You can sleep in till noon, but should you? What's going on, Bob?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Background. Where did you work before you did real estate?
Well, I had 1,000 jobs. I've been everything there is under the sun. Worked in car part factories where they made car parts. I was a housekeeper for a while, believe it or not. I was a cocktail waitress. I was a bartender. I was a minister. I was a bouncer.
A minister?
Yeah.
Wow.
I slid that in there in between, hoping.
All at the same time.
But the last job I had was working for an investment banker firm. So I went from bartender. I don't have much of an education. So, I've got I have two 2-year degrees, which is stupid. But two 2-year degrees, one is in science and the other one is in history. So, I'm fucked right there out of the gate on that. There's no career that involves science and history for people with two 2-year degrees. So 2 plus 2 does not equal 4. But I was so good at being a bartender, I guess, kind of, and relating with the people that came there and sat at the bar and all this. This investment banker guy offered me a job one day. I was like, wow, I'm moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. And it didn't work out quite like that, but it was a great job. It was a great job. That company kind of went down a little bit, so they laid me off. What kind of work have you done, Bob, besides short sales? Because that's what you're the expert at.
Yeah. Right out of college, I jumped into real estate full time, man. I think I lasted 6 months, maybe in the corporate world. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So I definitely relate to what you're saying, building somebody else's dream. So I just got my license as I was working that job, selling commercial tires for like a big national company. And I just literally quit. The day I got my license, I just called my boss and told him I wasn't coming in that day. And that was it.
Truck tires, bus tires, truck tires.
Do you know how hard it is to sell a commercial truck? What the hell do I have that the competition doesn't? It's a tire. It's big, it's round, it's black. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And they want cheap probably too, right?
That's all it is. It's just a war of pricing. If you could cut me a good deal, you got my business. That's it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Some of the work out there that you can get involved in is pretty wild. I've had several sales jobs too. One time I was a trash guy for a night. I mean, like I said, I've had 1,000 jobs, and I wish I'd have done what you did, where when I kind of got out of my two-year degree school twice for the second time. I loved it. That's like going back to high school just because you loved it. It's like
just to do it. Yeah, screw it.
I graduated high school twice.
Yeah.
They usually say you did what you could with the resources that you had. So
yeah,
there you go.
You got to give grace for that.
Everything kind of comes together if you keep working at it, though, right? Eventually.
Persistence, that's the key. But I think sales jobs are cool, though. Even if it's like a random sales job, I feel like those are the most beneficial ones, in my opinion. It teaches you how to deal with rejection and, communication skills. So, I think like, one-off sales jobs here and there, I think are good for people. But
I'll tell you what, it's really helped me become who I am. That's for sure.
Sales.
Yeah. I've sold everything there is, man, except tires. Sold vacuum cleaners door to door. Sold insurance. I've sold a lot of stuff. Cars. I don't know, man. That's probably the one thing that really, really helped pay off for me is just learning how to talk to people. So, I was doing a role play the other day. And this guy wanted to role play, this student of mine wanted to role play calling homeowners that are in default. Now, what is that called? A Liz Pendens? Is that what that is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a Liz Pendens just to be in default. I mean, someone could just be like less than 30 days defaulting. But yeah, for the sake of argument, yeah.
So, well, he was talking about getting a list. So I guess that's probably how far, if he's got a list, they probably have a list pendants filed, right?
Yeah,
so
got it. Yep.
So that's probably how they got on the list is what I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, no. You're right. I didn't know there was a list. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. Sorry. But anyway, we were talking, doing this role play, and that's it kind of goes along with the short sale concept here too, that, the people that you're calling, sometimes they want to keep their cards close to their chest, because they don't know who you are or what you're about, or maybe what your scam might be. And they already feel kind of hurt and damaged. But in this particular case, the homeowner was angry. And I was like, wow, that's kind of true. He was in default. They were going to foreclose on him. He wanted to role play this conversation, how to talk to this guy. And so, he was like, he's in default. He's in foreclosure. They're going to take his house and probably the next, as soon as they can get away with it, legally, whatever, there's nothing really good happening here for the guy, but he said he doesn't care. Forget the bank. I'll just stay here until they take it. But then the longer the guy talked to him, he was like, you realize that it's not really that. He's angry. He doesn't want the bank to win. He feels like he's getting railroaded and screwed here. And, man, that's a lot of emotion to deal with too. It's a lot of emotion to deal with. Do you deal with people like that a lot, Bob? People that are kind of caught in that kind of emotional turbulence,
All the time. I mean, constantly.
What
Probably over 50% of people I deal with are, that guy's example for sure.
what can you tell us about talking with people like that? Is there anything that you can give us on? Because sometimes we do call people, and they are in a tight situation. Maybe they don't want to open right up and tell us that. Maybe, and sometimes you can call people that are in pre-foreclosure, or, like maybe they have a Liz Penance filed or something like this, and it's well on its way. They're working on taking the home from these folks, and they don't even want to admit it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be aggressive. I would say a lot of these people, the main thing they want to do, Justin, they want to vent to you. They want someone to vent. They have all this frustration built up. Like you said, they hate the bank. They're taking it personal. It's like them versus the bank. They don't want the bank to win. Usually they have a bunch of other stuff going on in their life that's causing this hardship. Just shut up and listen to them. Let them talk. Let them vent. Just, don't be an aggressive salesperson. Let them talk. Show that you're human. Just have a conversation with them, and definitely let them do most of the talk and let them get it off their chest.
Yeah. That's a huge thing. When you let them talk, you get information, you get data, but you also get a sense of their motivation.
Yeah.
And you would think in this guy's case, you would think his motivation is to save his credit. You would think his motivation is to keep the house. You would think his motivation is to, I don't know, something like that. But turns out really the strongest motivation he had was he was mad at the bank. And he just, if I could present an offer that kept the bank from winning in his eyes, that's really all he cared about. And I thought that was so strange. Is that strange, or have you run across that before, Bob?
It's a little bit different in my business, because if somebody wants to keep the property, then I'm not the right solution for them.
Yeah.
So typically the motivation is, hey, I don't want this foreclosure to go against my credit.
Yeah.
But you're 100% right. There's this personal vendetta. It's them versus the bank. And sometimes I even have to remind people, like, hey, look, man, they're not just targeting you. The bank has processes. There's millions of people in foreclosure. They're treating them the same way they're treating you. So that helps a lot to just kind of calm them down and let them know, like, there's not a personal vendetta that the bank is treating you different. Because a lot of people think that. It's
a machine.
That's all it is. Correct.
And it eats people. That's all it does, man.
That's the best. That's actually I'm probably going to steal that from you next time I'm talking to somebody and they're going on and on. I'm just going to tell them it's a machine. Correct. That's what.
Don't get your parts caught in the machine.
There it is.
How do you win against the
machine? Say what, Ryan?
So how do you win against that machine, though?
Well, how you win is you either hit the lottery, or you have a rich uncle that passes away, or maybe you get into real estate investing and you turn a couple big deals and you pay off the arrears, or you just resign to the idea that, hey, I'm going to get foreclosed on. There's very little I can do about it that makes sense now. I think I better call Bob.
You know what? A lot of people try to quote unquote beat the bank by like pushing it back. They'll hire an attorney to keep on postponing the foreclosure sale date. But the key word there is postpone. Eventually it's coming. So really you're going to spend a bunch of money on the attorney bills because they're going to whack you hourly. Oh, yeah. And then eventually it's just going to catch up with you, So unless you have unless the person has a long-term strategy of how they're going to get themselves out of this situation, postponing it is just delaying the inevitable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's making that number get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's probably the worst part. They just get
Yeah.
more and more underwater. Yep.
It's crazy.
That's it.
Well, guys, if you're out there real estate wholesaling, Bob stops by every week and he visits with us for about 10 minutes. Go to universalshortsales.com. Check it out. It won't cost you anything. If you're out there in the real estate investor world and you are working with the public, the sellers, motivated sellers, you're going to run across some that are in default like this and getting underwater and they don't know what to do. Or perhaps you bought a list of folks like that. And now you're like, hey, what do I say? Bob's got a great little it's a little mini, small little ebook. It'll tell you exactly what happens in short sale and how it works and kind of what you can share with the homeowner. But go over to universalshortsales.com and get plugged in with them over there, which means get signed up so you can submit some of these leads that you run across that would otherwise be dead. You can't wholesale those underwater deals. Okay. You can't really even do lease options on them because you have all this arrears. That's what kills the deal on a lease option. Okay. So it's a dead deal. Send it to Bob. Send it to Bob.
Yep. And Justin said it best. I'm not here to, try to get the deals that you guys are profited on. If there's a bunch of equity, you could wholesale it, make your assignment fees. If you could lease option, do your thing there. I'm just a resource here for the group that when come across those deals and you're stuck, it's underwater, you can't wholesale it. You might as well profit from those streamlined deals. There's actually a company I just thought of. They're out of upstate New York. It's Signature Home Buyers. They're a big wholesaler out of upstate New York. They have 10 plus deals with me right now that are just dead. They literally just submit them on my website. I mean, a couple months down the road, they're going to make thousands of dollars from doing nothing. I mean, they're going to get checks just coming in for, 500.
Man.
And literally it's a secondary stream of income for your business.
Oh,
it
yeah.
really is. You can make your money off the profit deals, and then off the dead leads, you could have a secondary stream of income, without even thinking about it. So
yeah,
that's what I'm here for.
That's great, guys. $500 on a dead lead. Yeah. Not a bad idea. You could really have an entire business model that runs just solely on this. You really could. You really could.
Like I said, that company, honestly, they, whatever they're doing in their marketing, I think they do a lot of like pay-per-click stuff, so they can't control the equity of the deals. We were actually laughing about it the other day. They're like, geez, this is like, they might set up like a separate entity. I mean, they're not gonna, but they were joking around about it. Like, they could set up like a separate entity just for these deals.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, Bob, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Guys, go check out the Facebook group. Bob always puts a link in there. And he's got the ebook. If you want to attach that again this week, man, folks can grab that again. And I'll put your information in the description of the video too. So
you got it, man. Yeah, I'll be posting some content and some videos in the group. And then, if you guys ever have short sale related questions or pre-foreclosure questions, just like Justin says, I'm the resident short sale guy. So just at me in the chat, message me, whatever. I'm happy to help anything you guys need.
Yeah. That's great. It's another tool in your toolbox.
That's it.
Yeah. So make sure you have it. When you go out to do work, what's the one tool you end up needing most?
The one you don't have? I don't know.
The one you left at home.
There you
go. Typically. All right, Bob. Have a good week, man. We'll see you next week. Thank you, sir.
You guys have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
See you guys.
Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the VIP session. I'm glad you're here. Everybody here looks like VIP probably. I got the timer out, guys. Y'all want to do some role play today? Remember, we should be able to qualify or disqualify these folks. And there's another timer. 3 minutes or less. 3 minutes or less. I want to share the screen. Does anybody have any burning questions before we jump into a role play? All right. Going once, going twice. Mag.
I think I do.
I didn't know if you were raising your hand or if you were raising the roof.
I know, right?
Does anybody raise the roof anymore?
No. What was it? So I think yesterday you were talking about subject twos. Um, I'm a little new to subject two. Can you explain just what it is and when would I use it?
Yeah. If you're brand new at this, I would not worry about it much at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not something you're going to run into on a daily basis. Okay. This is for very motivated sellers, typically very, very motivated.
Hmm.
And what subject to means is you would be buying that house to wholesale it or to hang on to it, whatever you want to do. But you would be purchasing that house from the homeowner. The deed would be transferring. Okay. So it'd be going from their ownership to yours or to your assignee if you're going to assign the deal, if you're going to wholesale it. So the deed is going to change, but the original homeowner's original mortgage is going to stay in place. So you're purchasing this house subject to that original mortgage. So in other words, you take the deed, they keep the mortgage, but you service the mortgage. Does that make sense, Mac?
Yeah, so you making the payments for them.
Yep. You're making the payment for them and the deed is in your name or in your
Yeah.
company name. Yeah.
Why would you do something like that? Just
That's a good question. Does anybody here in the VIP club have any answers for Mag? Why you might want to do a subject to deal?
People, they're behind on their mortgage. They want to save their credit most of the time.
That might be that you could catch up the arrears, maybe. Yeah. Any other reasons in the VIP club why you might want to do a subject to?
Yes, to help somebody out that's in a bind.
Well, yeah, you're going to help people out. Yeah. What scenario might they be in that might make them good prospects for a subject to?
They just want to complete, right?
They just want to get out completely.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with it whatsoever. That's a good one. Okay. How about this? They have no equity. That might be a good reason. What about this? They're barely underwater. In other words, the house is worth 100,000 and they owe 104.
So they can't pay an agent for it.
Right. Yeah, they can't pay an agent. Right. They couldn't afford the commission. They'd have to come out of pocket to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are motivated to do something creative. So, in that course, which guys, I'm going to, I was inspired yesterday by Mag and some of you other guys and gals here in the VIP. And we were just going through that little, we were going through the kind of some of the material in the original subject to course, which I don't even have available anywhere, to be honest with you, except on YouTube, I think. But I'm going to come out with a subject to 2.0, and we're going to really break this down and show you guys how it works. Just so you know, it's just another tool in your toolbox. Okay. But mostly you'll be doing lease options or ugly house. Okay. Mostly as a real estate wholesaler, unless you focus on just doing subject to, which by the way, you could. And we'll talk about that. We'll come at subject to from that angle if you want. But we're going to do that here probably, I don't know, sometime the next month or two. Does that sound like fun? Unless you guys don't want it, but you probably don't want it, right? You probably don't want a subject to.
I have another question, Justin. I don't know if that question making a necessary or not, but when I do the scraping, I come across these guys called the Pink House.
Yeah.
They have a franchise out of Jacksonville when I search them.
Yeah.
But they list the homes for sale by owner, and they put at the bottom lease purchase available. But how are they listed for sale by owner? Do they buy them, or how they do it? I mean,
yeah, that's my understanding of it. I don't really know for certain, but my understanding of it is that they actually close on the houses. I don't know though. I've heard of them. They're making waves. Okay. So I need to take 5 minutes of my life and go look them up and kind of educate myself on Pink House. But I've heard of it. I saw the website once. and then I think I went back to watching Netflix.
Yeah,
So
I
I-
was-
They're getting an assignment, which gives them ownership rights.
Oh, okay.
So then they ask the owner to let them market it as the owner. They get their permission to do that, and they actually do have, technically they have an ownership.
Sure. Yeah, I'll have to check them out, man. I don't really know what their slant is on things.
You know, they reply for my message for rent to own always.
They what?
They reply for my message.
Oh,
rent
yeah.
to own.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, that should tell you that it works. It works out there, guys. I mean, you know, there's other people doing it and hitting it hard. So, you know, got to get your piece, right? I think me and Ryan are going to make some calls later today, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. There's one in particular that I needed to call back.
All right. That's the one in Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Ryan's working on something over in Myrtle Beach. We'll see if we can get it. All right. Anybody else got a question before we jump into the role play? Who's going to role play today? Anybody?
I have a question, Justin.
Greg's got a question.
You were saying you're talking about different tools in the toolbox, and obviously we're here primarily for lease options. Of all the creative real estate techniques you know of, is lease options probably the most lucrative?
Sandwich lease options is the most lucrative that I know of. Yeah.
Okay.
As far as creative, subject to can be very competitive as well. With the sandwich, depending on what your exit strategy is. But so 6 to 1, half a dozen the other on that. But yeah, so that's why I focus on lease options.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I'm talking to an ugly house owner and they seem motivated, then I'll make an ugly house offer. So I really I've got a tool bag with like 5 tools in it. That's really all I do. I'm not a master of all 27 tools or whatever there is out there, strategies and techniques. I'm not a master of all. I'm good at what I'm good at, and that's it. So I have about 5 tools in my toolbox, and the 2 that I use most are the lease option and then just a straight ugly house assignment. That's it. But that doesn't mean that every now and then I don't need to pull out that subject too. Okay, just every now and then.
Thank you.
Okay. Occasionally I'll pull out that joint venture contract and I'll JV with somebody. Okay. So that's another tool in there. You know, you could study until the day you die all the strategies and techniques, you know, and still not really understand all of them probably. You know, that's the way it goes. So that's how people, I think, get caught up in the YouTube University, you know,
Paralysis by analysis. Yeah, something like that.
It's like, oh, wait a minute, I haven't heard of this. This might be the missing link. Like there's a missing
Learning.
link, you know. There's no missing link here. The only missing link is mostly is us doing what we know we should do. You know, that's my opinion. So, any other questions before we role play? And who wants to role play? Volunteers. Mia Johnson,
I'll go too if you want.
Aisha. I'd love to see two females role play. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool.
I don't think I'm that lucky today though. Look at them. They're all going to sit there all quiet like we're not even here. We're not.
That's funny. I'm game if I'm game for it, certainly.
All right. That sounds good, man. Nate. He's ready. Who else?
I can go.
Mag, I knew you was going to step up. You're my man.
All right.
All right. So who wants to be the caller and who wants to be the homeowner? And then we'll switch around.
I can be the homeowner this time. I was the caller last time. So
Okay. You want to be the caller then, Nate? Are you there, Nate? I'm sorry, that's Dion. I got a Nate Williams and I got a Dion Williams, and the name said Team Williams, and I was like, huh. I think that's Nate. I was like, nope, that's Dion. Now I done run him off. Like he got he's like, nah, I'm out of here. Forget it.
Get him, Dion.
Okay, Dion, you want to be the caller?
Sure.
Okay, here's the roadmap. If you need it, you can use it. If not, that's fine. I'm going to leave it up on the screen. Probably won't throw checks and hearts today just because it's you guys probably don't need it anymore, but that's the roadmap. Any order, any style, however, try to remember rule number 1, set the agenda. Rule 2, you got 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to what? Qualify or disqualify. Now, if you qualified the guy and he ends up on a scale of 1 to 10 over here pretty high, then you might need to go longer, right? Because you need to close this guy.
Right.
But you should be able to qualify or disqualify this guy in about 3 minutes. So let's keep that in mind. If he's not qualified, what must you do?
Fire him.
Shit can him, yeah. All right. So don't get shit canned, Mag. I'm just kidding, man. Okay, guys, let's do it. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing? This is Dion. I was calling about the house I saw for sale on Zillow. Just wanted to speak with you for a few minutes, ask you a couple of questions, and if you have any questions of me, feel free to ask. And if we can't come to a meeting of the minds or come to an agreement, feel free to kick me off the phone. No harm will be done.
Okay. What are you a salesman or what are you?
No. I'm not a salesman. You're the salesman. You got the house.
Great answer. Oh my God. I've never heard
like
that before. That was perfect, man.
That was great.
Somebody write
Great.
this shit down. This is classic.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't charge you guys for that one.
Man, I feel like I owe you a cup of coffee or something, like, like for real.
Yeah, that was great.
All right. Yeah, man. I'm looking to sell the house. How did you get my number again?
Well, I got it from the listing that you had on Zillow.
Oh yeah, I remember. Right. So what do you need to know?
Well, looking at the pictures and the description of the home, it's a beautiful place, and I just was curious. Number one, how long had you owned the home, and why would you be looking to sell such a nice place?
Does it matter to you?
It matters to me just in terms of just being interested. Every home has a story, and I'd like to know a little bit about it.
Sure. Okay.
Great answers again, man.
Great answers, Jen.
Golly, he's killing it today.
Yeah, if somebody record this shit. Yeah, sure, man. I'll give you some answers. I just want to let you know I don't have a lot of time. I got probably 3 minutes. Can we make this quick?
I've done a lot of great work in 3 minutes, my friend.
and he's funny.
All right.
We need to ask your wife about that, validate that, and see if
I got 3 kids to prove it.
Oh.
Oh. All right. Sure. So what do you need to know again?
I just was curious, how long you had owned the home and why you were looking to sell.
Yeah, I owned the home for about 2 years already, 2 years and a half, I would say. And I'm looking to sell because I recently lost my job, so I need some money.
Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your job. That's terrible. I've had that happen to me before, and it's definitely a difficult thing to go through. And I definitely wish you much luck in getting your next position. So so with you having lost your job, in terms of timing, obviously, you'd be looking to sell as soon as possible. Is there a chance if we can come to an agreement today, you'd be able to commit to an agreement? We can get a deal done.
Yeah, if the numbers make sense, definitely.
Okay. And you mentioned the numbers making sense.
Time
You
out.
got
Time out
the
for a
home.
second. Time out for a second. I want to highlight something here. You're doing an awesome job. But when he said that he lost his job, you bonded with him for a second. You said, "Oh yeah, man, that's crappy that happened," and I really feel for you. And okay, you bonded. Good job there. But then you kind of felt like it was almost like an awkward pause for a second because it was pretty intimate information. I just lost my job. It's what do you say? What do you do? I just want to interject that I would have said, "Oh man, that sucks." I bet that's putting a crunch on your savings, isn't it? See, I'm going to start digging into money. Like, is he hurting for money real bad? You know what I mean? Like, how bad does this hurt?
Yeah, that was, yeah. And actually he opened the door for me again, when he said, if the money's right. So I was about to get into the money part.
Okay, boss. Sorry.
No, it's no problem. No problem. All right. Well, you mentioned if the money is right, you have the home listed for 250,000. So can you tell me what amount would make that money right? Is 250 the best you can offer?
I can drop 1,000 to 49.
249. Okay. All right. So 249 is the best you could offer. Okay. Well, you've got it listed for that. And how did you determine that price? How'd you come up with that price?
I got a real estate investor's friend, and they looking over my shoulder and telling me, what the house is worth.
Okay. So you got some pretty credible information. Okay. All right. So if I could just drive up to your doorstep, with a bag of money, and I was going to pay cash for your house, how much money would need to be in that bag for you to take a cash deal?
Cash deal. Maybe I would have dropped it for like 230.
230. Okay. 230, huh? Well, I don't know. That might be that may not work for us, but what if I could give you full price of 250,000 or 249, since that's the deal you offer, 249.
You said 250. Go back to the 250.
Okay. All right. And we were able to do that and get you something that works for you. Is that something you could commit to today? Is it possible you could maybe lease it to us for a couple of years and we could pay you off at that time?
What do you mean? You're gonna live in my house?
No, I would just like to lease it from you for a couple of years and then pay you off at that time.
Who's gonna live it?
Well, me and my investment partners, we would find a great tenant buyer for the home, and they would be living in the home.
Okay. Is that legal?
You know what? That's a great question, and I appreciate you asking that. Are you concerned that it's not legal?
Yeah, I never heard of that before.
Okay. All right. Well, it certainly is legal. Obviously renting property is legal, and offering someone an option to buy a home is legal. So yes, it is.
Okay. All right. I guess it makes sense. What would it look like? Can you paint me a picture?
Just briefly, we'd find a great tenant buyer to put in your home. You and I will agree to a monthly payment, and then our tenant buyer ultimately would end up buying the home.
Okay, time out. He's throwing you a curveball here. the curveball is, he said, hey, can you tell me a little bit about this? First of all, it was, a lease with an option. Is that even legal? Okay. I thought you did well there. Then when he says, can you tell me about it? He's baiting you to go into explainer mode. Okay. Now, how I heard it is he's asking you, hey, can you close me? That's what I heard.
Mhm.
Okay. But he's also baiting you to go into explainer mode. So, and you kind of went into explainer mode a little, but not too much.
Right. I just wanted to give him just like a quick and, just a quick and dirty explanation, but not, getting in too far into the weeds.
So where is he on a scale of 1 to 10 right now?
I would say he's at least a 6 or a 7.
Okay. So he's a pretty high motivated guy on the scale 1 to 10. As far as this goes, is he a good candidate for a lease option offer or a cash money discount offer?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Well, I guess for me, I would say he's probably a better candidate for a lease option because he wants his best cash price is too close to the the retail value.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree. Okay. So his motivation level and what kind of offer you want to make. Have you now in the qualification stage where you're getting the 4 questions in and you're finding out those things, there's the why question. Do you know why he wants or needs to sell?
I think probably just from a surface level, that he lost his job.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of do. The money, you understand that pretty good, right?
Yeah.
You understand the timing issue for him, right?
Yes.
And the commitment, like is he able to make a commitment?
He said he'd be willing to do a deal today. He did.
Okay. So you really know all 4. You've placed him on a scale of 1 to 10 motivation. He's pretty high, and you kind of have a sense that you need to make a lease option offer. And then he says to you, yeah, can you explain to me how this works? To me, that's a major, will you close me? Can you close me? Imagine, no problem. I'll explain it to you. Imagine, Mag, that I was able to get you out of that property, get you out from under the payment, get you away from the responsibilities of the thing, make it where it's not a worry or a concern in the world for you, get you into a place where you can live and do what you want to do, and you're not worried about any of this stuff, and give you full price. Would you consider doing something creative with me and renting it to me for 2 years before I give you full price? Is that something we can talk about, or maybe not? Okay, see, I would have jumped right into that closing stage. I would have done a little recap. I would have done a little bit of that, finessing of what you just explained to me, sir.
Yep.
And here's an offer that will solve all of those things. If I can do that, would you consider doing this? That's the question.
Right. Gotcha.
That explainer mode off the table, huh?
Say it again, Ed.
I think so. You took that explainer mode off the table and took over the conversation again.
Yeah. I refused to go into explainer mode, and instead I chose to go in and try to close him. Boom.
Right.
Because he's really kind of asking me, he's giving me what we would call a buying signal. So in other words, what he's saying is, in a way, if you can explain this to me in a way that makes sense and fits me, I think I would do this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
Where were you coming from with that, Mag? Am I right? Am I guesstimations of you, or am I off base?
No, you're right. And I think it's just try to fulfill my desires, right?
Yeah.
And my needs at that time. And then but the question is, even though if you did that, and I would say, okay, but can you let me know a little bit more about it? So would you go into explanation mode again, or what would you do then?
Yeah, what would you like to know about it?
Okay.
You know,
Uh, I guess I would like to know, you know, how much money would be monthly, all
Yeah.
those details.
yeah, that's a great question. What kind of money monthly would make you whole?
Okay.
You see what
Uh,
I'm doing? I'm putting everything back on him. I found
Right.
his motivation and I turned it into an offer.
right.
Right.
Nah.
Yep.
Here's your motivation. Now here's the offer. It is your motivation packed up with a bow on it.
Mm,
There's no reason in the world for you to say no,
yeah.
but you will come up with questions and objections and stalls because that's human nature. So even though I asked a question, he's probably not going to say yes, yes, yes. Send me that paperwork. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm still
Right.
going to have to work with him a little, but he's
Yep.
so close, so close, so close. All right, guys. Sorry I interrupted. Let's go.
No, perfect.
Time back in, and where he left off was he said, "Can you explain to me how this works?" Okay, go.
All right. Well, it's so if we take a look at it, you've lost your job and you're definitely looking to sell the home as quickly as possible. And what I want to do is put this situation to bed for you, get you out of that house, and let you look for your next opportunity with as little stress as possible. Get this house off your hands, and that's what I'm looking to do today. So if we're able to come to an agreement that fits your needs, would you be interested, and can you commit to that today?
Yes. Yes.
All right, well, great. Sounds awesome. So you had asked about money earlier, so let's talk about that. I mean, we definitely need to come up with a monthly payment. So what's the PITI for your home? We definitely want to make sure we get that covered for you.
It's about 1,800.
1,800. Okay. All right. So we were able to put something together that got you to 1,800 that would cover your PITI. Would you be willing? Would that work for you?
Yeah.
All right,
Totally.
great. And would a 2-year lease? Are you comfortable with a 2-year lease?
2-year lease. Can we do 1 year?
1 year is a little tight. 1 year is a little tight. What would be the issue with doing 2 years?
Why you think it's tight?
1 year is tight. That's for our tenant buyers, sometimes they might need more time than that.
Okay, guys, time out. I get this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I get this all the time. And it's a toughie until you learn what to say.
Yeah.
And, here's what I say. When a homeowner says this, they say, "Hey, man, 24 months. Nah, I could do 12. That sounds good." Is it? Let me ask you a question, guys and gals here in the VIP. Is it okay to tell a homeowner no?
Yes.
Yeah, sure it is. So he says to me, "Well, no. Could we do 12 instead?" No, I can't do it. Sorry. Man, I feel you where you're coming from. I wish I could, but no, I can't. I can't do 12. We could do 24 though. Now rebut it again. Tell me 24 is not going to work again, Mag.
24. Can we do 12?
Man, well, like I was saying, I can't do it. I wish I could, but I can't. We can do 24. But I'll tell you what, if I write up the agreement where we split the difference and we make it 18, is that something that that you'd be willing to go ahead and do with me today? Okay. So I'm conceding a little here after he's rebutted me twice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I'm not going to say, well, I can't because explainer mode, and this is why in explainer mode, I lost the deal. Okay. It's not about why for him, why you can or can't here. It's whether you will or not. And
Right.
sometimes you just have to say, No, can't do it. Homeowner says, hey, I need 20,000 down. Can you do 20,000 down? No. No. I don't need to song and dance you here. The answer is no.
Right.
Oh, you can't do 20,000? No.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything more reasonable we can talk about, Mr. Homeowner? It's a lot of money. Well, I could probably do 15 if if you're serious. 15? Whew. Can't do 15. Well, what can you do? Well, see, you're the guy that wants the money, so I need you to be comfortable here, but 15's a lot. I mean, I was thinking maybe like 3. Is that something we could move forward with today? You see how I'm just bouncing it off him until I find something that I'm happy with.
Right.
Okay. All right. Back to the role play. Sorry, I interrupted. Go.
Oh, no. I welcome it. That's great. Okay. Well, sir, 24 months is not going to work for us.
No, it's 12 months, he said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Sorry. 24 would be great. Yeah, Mr. Homeowner, 12 months is not going to work for us.
Okay. Could we do 18?
Could we do 24? Is 24 completely out of the question?
If we could do 18, I would be happier.
Okay.
Why 18? Why are you in a hurry? See, that's what I do. I
Right.
don't know. I think people acquiesce too quickly here. Dion, you're doing great though. Keep after it.
Okay. Why 18? Why not 24?
Well, I was thinking to my mind that if we could sell it quickly, it would be better at a shorter time.
Would 6 more months really be that much of a difference maker for you?
Maybe.
Will those 6 months prevent us from being able to do a deal today?
Okay. I guess we can do 24 then.
All right, that's great. I'm glad that works for you. All right,
Okay. All right, good job, man. Time out
Yeah.
again. Sorry, but this is great content, guys. I mean, you guys are really tearing it up. Okay, what would happen? You played that scenario perfectly, by the way, Dion. But what would happen if he just refused? Listen, man, I'm not going to go beyond. I'm not going to go beyond 12. That's fine. I mean if that's not going to work, 12 is what it is. I'm not comfortable with 18. I'm not comfortable with 24. What do you do?
I'd have to fire him.
Okay, you could fire him. But what if you got extra creative? Okay.
Ask to lower the price.
You could ask to lower the price.
Yeah.
You could say, okay, I could do it then, but I'd have to have this. You'd have to drop the price $5,000 in order for me to pull it off. Is that
How about an optional extra 6 months?
Boom. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so if I change the agreement to say 12 months with an additional 6-month extension, like if I have to have it, give me a little extra breathing room. And because the world's a crazy place, is that something we can move forward with today, or is this over?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Greg. I got to write that down.
Super.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, you get smart and you think about how can I give him what he wants and still get what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life happens. We're going to get you a good tenant in here, but life happens to people. Things like what's going on right now. Things beyond the tenant's control can happen. So they need a little bit of a safety net. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Something of that nature. Yeah. Great strategy. Great comeback. You guys are becoming master negotiators. You feel it? I can feel it.
I just gotta stop tripping over that explainer mode thing. It's always in my way.
Yeah. You're doing good though. You're not really hitting explainer mode, I don't think.
I think Dion doing a great job himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great
Thanks,
job.
thank you, thank you.
Definitely is.
I think the long and short of it is that you'll close this particular role play. I think you're about this far from actually having the agreement sent out. So
Uh-oh, Mag's digging in now.
Yeah. You don't go any farther.
okay, let's wrap. Go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
Now, I'll say Madison came a long way too.
Oh yeah, he has. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. You got 3 minutes to wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. All right. Well, you agreed to the 24 months. That's great. We've got the monthly payment at $1,800, which satisfies what you need. So I'll get that agreement over to you within the hour. Can you review it and get it back to me? Maybe before 4 or 5 o'clock today. And I don't know. Do you have anybody else that you need to confer with about getting this agreement signed and sent back?
Yeah, I gotta talk to my wife though.
Okay. Is there anything we discussed today that might be a problem for her that maybe we can get cleared up now?
No, I think I'm gonna explain to her. But if I need any further explanation, maybe we should set up a meeting. All three.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just call it 5 o'clock. We'll do it at 5 o'clock today. You'll have the agreement within the hour, and we'll speak again at 5.
She's at work, but can we do tomorrow?
Is there any reasonable time today that you both would be available to have a conversation?
Nah, we're going to church after she comes to work.
Okay. Well, you tell me what time tomorrow, and we'll do it.
I would say, I think the best time, lunchtime would be good.
All right, sounds good. You and your wife will be my lunch date tomorrow, 12 noon.
All right. All right.
All right, thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, great job, fellas.
Yeah,
Great job.
awesome.
Is that Debbie out here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Debbie's
Sort of.
here? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Debbie. Good to see you.
Debbie's
here.
talking.
Good to see everybody here. Dion and Mag, good role play. Jerry, Randall, Michael, Greg, Ed, Aisha, Mia, Debbie, Jimmy. Jimmy, is this the Jimmy? Is this the Jimmy that's the ninja on the phone?
Yes, it is, Jimmy here. How you doing?
You're being awful quiet today, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually listening.
Jimmy had me talking to myself yesterday after he threw me those curveballs, but I really appreciate it, man. That really helped me out.
No problem. You're welcome. I'm just listening, and I like being in the conversation.
Yeah,
that's great, man. Okay, we've been here an hour. We can wrap it up, or if anybody has one, they're like, "Oh man, I was wanting to role play so bad, I didn't get a chance. I don't want to cut you out. This is VIP, and I want to take care of you." So if anybody has a role play they want to do, we can bang one out real quick, or we can call it a day. It's up to you. Speak up. Speak now or forever hold your peace. You know how in the movies they always say that at the wedding? If anybody objects to this, I don't think they really do that in real life, do they? Isn't that crazy? Who came up with that idea? Does anybody here at the wedding not want these two to be married?
Hollywood came up with it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm the old boyfriend. I
Yeah.
object.
Yeah. She's pregnant with my baby. No. Get some Jerry Springer stuff going on at the wedding.
Oh man.
All right, guys. What's happening? Anything else we need to do before we
Yeah.
wrap up here?
Justin, can you do that bit that I asked you about earlier today?
Yeah, you asked me about the guy who is wanting the money
Right now.
So she's got a lease option contract she sent out, and in the contract it says that she's going to place a tenant buyer and all this stuff, so it's very transparent. And the guy texted her back and said that he wanted the $3,000 in down payment, which would be okay, but he wants it right.
How are you? I'm fine.
Yeah, he wants it right
Sorry,
now.
it's taking forever to open up.
So, yeah, we want to talk about what do you do when the homeowner insists on having the money right now? Okay. Anybody have any ideas and thoughts on this? This is a good one.
How would you pull that off?
It's hard. It's hard to pull off over text. Okay.
Can you structure it that you get some now and some later?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would offer that. I would say, hey, listen, that's a pretty reasonable request. It's a lot of money, though. I mean, it's more than
a regular deposit on any rental.
Yeah.
Yeah, a regular deposit would be a 1 month, 1,200. He's asking for 3,000.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I could do, Mr. Homeowner. Here's an idea. I'll tell you what I could do, Mr. Homeowner. I can give you 1,000 of it 2 Fridays from today, or this Friday, or whatever. Next week. This is Friday, or I can give it next. That'll give you a week to find a tenant buyer to put 1,000 down. That's one thing you could do. That's kind of weak, but this guy might need to get fired. I don't know. If he insists on having $3,000 right now, man.
So
what's the reason?
Right.
Yeah.
What's the justification for it?
So you would want to get him on the phone and have this conversation with him and say, hey, listen, I understand. The question is that you're seeing the 3,000 and you'd like that in your pocket today. Is that correct? I understand you correct. Yeah, that's what I want. I mean, I just think, when I sign the document, that's when that money comes down here. Okay, well, we have no, we would have skin in the game, but we would have no skin in the game from you, sir.
Right.
And you would have 3,000 of our dollars, which is more than the monthly rent and more than a deposit. Is there anything more reasonable we can talk about? Well, I don't know. I mean, it says 3,000. Okay, so but what I'm saying is there anything more reasonable on the time frame? My plan is to allow you to have that 3,000 in cash when we sign documents and exchange keys.
Mm-hmm.
The document
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so so you were talking about, Aisha, though, you were talking about how the flex option agreement memo is not the real full packet. It's not.
Yes.
It's not the real closing packet. And he's under the
impression.
Under the impression that it is the full Monty here, and it's not. And you might just have to really kind of break it down for the guy. I've had to do this a few times too, and say, hey, listen, this is just a permission slip here. Okay. All right. So I don't know if I'm even going to be honest with you. I don't even know if I'm going to find anybody to come in. You haven't found anybody. I don't know if I can. Okay. I'm not going to bet $3,000 on it. I can tell you that. But here's what I will do. When I find the guy, I'll give you $3,000. Is that something you're willing to work with me on, or is this over? I've had to say that before. Okay. So just a thought. Just a thought. That's how I would do it. Anybody else have any ideas or thoughts on this?
You think he's looking at it like earnest money?
Yeah, I think so. I think he just needs to be educated. And if he's defensive and angry and insistent and I have to have it and all this, you might just have to fire the guy because he's working his own reality,
Would you ask him what do you need the money for, Justin?
Psychedelic reality.
No, I wouldn't ask him in this case. I would not ask him what he needs the money for because I already have it on the contract that I'm going to give him the $3,000. I remember she already sent the contract out with the $3,000 on it. Everybody was in agreement with it and everything. It's just now he wants the money right now.
Well, he came over after the fact.
So you just need him to say, you need to tell him, hey, this is when the money arrives and this is how it works and why it works. And I mean, why would I give you money now? That doesn't even make any sense.
The money comes from the tenant buyer, not from.
Can you ask him if you do have the funds and you put it in escrow, and just so he knows it's there. Obviously, you can't touch it.
You could do that too. You could say, you know what, man, if you had the money and this was a nice big sandwich deal you were putting together and you didn't mind floating a little cash for a minute, you could put some money in escrow. You could say, well, sir, I would do some money, but I would put some of this down towards this, but I would not give it directly to you. He's going to go, what? Who would you give it to? Well, I'd give it to the title company. Put it in escrow. I'm not into handing checks to random people.
Yeah.
I mean, we do business right here. I mean, that's what you want to do, isn't it? You want to do it right, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, then that means I'm not giving you any money.
Yeah. One of the other things you could do if he was good by that and you didn't have the funds, I was watching something the other day. If you had credit card limits, you can go to Simon Mall and use your credit card and buy a gift card, and then go to Walmart and use that gift card to get a cashier's check to put up, and then hopefully within 30 days you can find a tenant buyer so that you can then take that cash and pay off your credit card. I don't know if that made sense to you guys. It's called manufacturer spending. There's a YouTube video that shows how to do it. People do it just to get reward points and boost their credit.
That's interesting. I've never heard of it, man.
Well, what is the name?
It's just called manufacturer spending. But yeah, if you had enough credit cards, you can buy a couple gift cards from Simon Mall up to $1,000 each, and then you can go to Walmart with those gift cards and get a cashier's check, and then get the cash back, put the money back in your bank. And then whenever your credit card statements are due, you can use that cash that you now deposit back in the bank to pay off each one of the credit cards before the due date. You can do that. A lot of people do that, I guess. I was watching this YouTube video to either get points from their credit card, manufacturer spend, and boost up their credit, or just get quick access to cash if they have multiple credit cards and they need to come up with money fast. I'll try to track down the video. It's really interesting, actually.
Well, when you find it, man, post it in the Facebook group over there.
I will.
The private one, so we can, the VIP guys. Can
Yeah, I will.
It's got, I mean, we're always, we got shiny object syndrome here, just like everybody does.
I'll track it down.
Tonight, I'm learning a new credit card thing. And all right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. It's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We do have the Shut Up Money show tomorrow. It's a public Q&A, but you're more than welcome to come, guys. You always do, and I'm always appreciative. If it wasn't for you, sometimes maybe there wouldn't be anybody there. But I'm glad you're always faithful to coming to these when you can. These are not mandatory, but I'm glad that you do decide to come. Thank you for being here. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're a part of the VIP club. Thank you very much. But anyway, if I don't see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Time for that Shut Up Money show, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, okay?
Thank you, Justin.
Take care.
All right, guys. See you.
And Mag, do you wanted to contact me? You can contact me on Facebook.
Okay. Will do.
Okay.